All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Football Podcast. And for the final part of the show, we are going to talk about my team, the New York Giants, um, mainly about head coach Brian Daboll talking about taking back play calling duties. Um, so Daboll is considering taking over play calling duties following the team's offensive struggles in 2023. Daboll acknowledges that many head coaches in the NFL also call plays estimated around 20 or more. He emphasizes that no decision has been made yet, and he's still going through the process of considering what's best for the team. Daboll was hired partly due to his success in Buffalo with their explosive offense. He served as the architect and play caller for the 4 seasons. For 4 seasons. Offensive coordinator Mike Kafka has primarily been responsible for play calling duties with the Giants since he became the offensive coordinator back in 2022. He acknowledges that he has experience in play calling and is evaluating various factors before making a decision. Daboll recognizes the challenges of balancing play calling with other aspects of his job as head coach, but believes he can handle it effectively, citing examples of other successful head coaches who call plays. He reiterates that he will do what he feels is best for the football team. Now, I want to see if I can get the direct quotes from the article that I was looking at for this, and of course, it keeps pulling up the Steelers article that I had, so I don't want that. Let's see if it ends up working now. Probably will end up working now. Let's see. Yeah, because I'm on the NFL mobile app. So this is what Daboll said. He said, "It's something I'm looking into." And again, this is at the annual league meeting via the team's official website. I think there's 20 head coaches at this point in time that call plays in the league, either offensively or defensively. There might be a little bit more. I've been doing a bunch of research, but no decision has been made. I'm still going through that process, thinking about what we could do. He said, I did it for a long time. There's a lot of things that go into it. Part of that evaluation that I talked about, there are some other things that I'm looking into. I take my time and do what I think is best for the team. Still working through the process. There's quite a bit of people nowadays that do that. So, again, it's something that I'll look into. Whatever I feel is best for the football team, that's the way we go. Okay. So, yeah, that's what he had to say. And I also wanted to bring up, some of the Giants' offensive stats from 2023. So they averaged 15.6 points per game, which was 30th in the NFL. They were also 31st in passing yards per game with 197.1. 29th in total yards. It just not good. All their stats were not good. In sacks it says 32nd, so it just it was not good. The offense was just not good last year. How many times am I going to say it? But this is why Daboll was brought in, because where the league's going, most of the head coaches, you look around and they have an offensive background. Now, again, there's some that have a defensive background, and you have an offensive coordinator that you hopefully will, hopefully takes the offense to new heights. But yeah, for the most part, head coach. You look around the league: Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, Matt LaFleur. These are all offensive guys. That's where everything's. Zach Taylor's an offensive guy, but they're still defensive guys. Mike McDonald's now the head coach for the Raven or for the Seahawks. Dan Quinn with the Commanders. He's got a defensive background. He has been a head coach. That's why they brought in Cliff Kingsbury. Nick Sirianni and Shane Steichen. Those are offensive guys. The league is an offensive league. And this is why the Giants brought in Daboll. And listen, even in 2022, the offense, took steps forward and they made the playoffs. But again, I didn't look at the Giants as an elite offense. And they most certainly were not an elite offense in 2023. And I think Daboll should be the one to call the plays, because they need to do something. Because, for years now, the offense has been a problem. Again, 2022, they made the playoffs. But again, I still didn't look at him as a great offense. But again, I just, they have not been great. And the Giants really have just not been a team that has been great for years now. There's been a couple of anomaly years. You had 2016, you had 2022, but outside of that, it's been rough. It's been rough for New York football fans. It has been very rough. And for the moment, you thought, okay, the Giants are going to turn it around. The Jets are going to turn it around now, getting Aaron Rodgers. But it was kind of more the same thing. 6-11 for the Giants, 7-10 for the Jets. So, and now the Jets, they're right now on paper, they're in a much better position than the Giants are. But again, on paper, with the Giants, there's a lot of question marks. Quarterback is the big thing. What are they going to do? Now, they keep telling us Daniel Jones is going to be the guy when he comes back. Now, again, that could just be a smokescreen because they're going to take a quarterback, I think, one way or another in this draft. And that's going to be the long-term answer. Because, again, you had Rich Eisen saying that he was hearing from people at the Combine, and I think Rich Eisen is a valuable source. Him saying that what he heard at the Combine, the Giants were just done with Daniel Jones. So Daniel Jones, again, might end up being that bridge guy, and then they hand it off to hopefully the franchise quarterback. I think Daboll should take over the play calling duties. Again, this is why, like I said, this is why he was brought in to help fix this offense. And listen, last year they took a step back. Now, they were competitive towards the end of the year, and they won some games that they shouldn't have. But they did. And Giant fans will complain that, well, that kind of hurt their draft positioning. Because maybe they could have got a higher pick, and they could have taken one of these top quarterbacks. Now, again, they're probably going to get one of those guys in the second tier now, unless they trade up and give up a lot of assets to, get one of the top guys. Or maybe one of the top guys falls. Because, I don't know, there's a lot of... it could be J.J. McCarthy being, excuse me, it could be J.J. McCarthy getting drafted by the Commanders. Then, it could be either Jaden Daniels or Drake May. I mean, we'll see. I mean, there could also be a team that trades up with the Cardinals, because the Cardinals could be a team that trades down, because they, again, keep saying that Kyler Murray is the guy. So, I mean, we know Caleb Williams is going number 1 overall, but now it's like, what's going to happen after that? And if the Giants see a guy that they really like, maybe they potentially do trade up, or they let them fall to 6. I don't know. It's going to be interesting, but I mean, listen, I think Daboll should take over the play calling duties. I think that would be the right thing. There has to be some kind of change on the offense. I mean, again, they weren't good offensively. And on top of that, you lost your best offensive player in Saquon Barkley. So, and you were ranked towards the bottom. So now you lose your best offensive player. Well, your offense isn't going to get better. Now, again, it depends on what else they do. I mean, what they do in the draft. And again, I like some of the players on offense. I think Wan'Dale Robinson, he looks like he's going to be a good player for them. Again, we didn't really see what Jalen Hyatt could do because, the Giants really it was just musical chairs at quarterback. It was Daniel Jones, then it was Tyrod Taylor, then it was Tommy DeVito, then Daniel Jones comes back and unfortunately gets hurt, then Tyrod Taylor comes in, Tommy DeVito. It was all over the place. But that's an area the Giants need to address. They got to get more playmakers. And again, still, I don't think Darren Waller has made an official decision on whether he's going to retire or not. But that could be another player that you end up losing. Now, again, he didn't really play an impact on the team. Had a touchdown, but again, unfortunately, was hurt. So they got to figure it out. And I think Daboll taking over the play calling duties, I think that's the right way to go. But again, it's ultimately going to come down to him. And like he said, he's going to make the decision that's best for the team. And hopefully it ends up being him calling the plays. And hopefully the Giants get their guy quarterback. And we go from there. So I think that should be what ends up happening. Because, again, there's got to be some kind of change. I mean, again, you were at the bottom in a lot of offensive categories. You got to do something. Or maybe it's on Mike Kafka, and he ends up being like, oh, well, I mean, he's coming back. So, but there's got to be some kind of change. Now, again, you could also just point to the fact that talent-wise, the Giants just don't have a lot of talent on offense. Other than Saquon Barkley. But now, Saquon Barkley is gone. They brought in Devin Singletary, who, again, had a nice season. Had a nice season with the Texans. And I think he'll be decent. But he's not Saquon Barkley. So, again, there's a lot of areas that the Giants have to improve on offense. Because, I like the direction the defense is going in. Now, I don't like that Wink Martindale is not there anymore. That concerns me a little bit. And like I said, they brought over the defensive coordinator from Tennessee. But again, this defense has a lot of talent. Again, the defensive line, that's something I'm really excited to look for to watch. Those three guys up front, Thibodeau, Burns, and Dexter Lawrence, that's going to be a lot of fun. And you hope that the Giants finally have a pass rush that can consistently get to the quarterback, because it's been a long time. I mean, really the last time the Giants had something like that was, again, I don't count 2016. Go back to when they won the Super Bowl with Justin Tuck, with JPP, with Osi Umenyiora, those guys. That was the last time the Giants had a pass rush. I know they had, again, 2016 they had JPP and they had Olivier Vernon and Damon Snacks Harrison, but I don't know. For me, I go back to the Super Bowl. Those Super Bowl teams. And then you go back even further with Strahan as well. I mean, they got to get back to that. And I think getting Brian Burns to go along with Thibodeau and Dexter Lawrence, hopefully this is, we get something similar to the Super Bowl days now with these three guys. But we'll see. We'll see. And again, we still got we still got the draft. There's still moves to be made there. The Giants will address some of those needs. You know, maybe they take a receiver with that first pick instead of a quarterback. I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's just so hard to, because I feel like they are going to take a quarterback, but what if they end up trading down? They could trade down, they could trade up, they could stay right where they are. It's just, there's so many possibilities. But I don't know, we'll see. But like I said, with this here, I think Daboll should take the play calling duties. But again, that's just me. That's just me. So yeah, that's basically it for the show for today. Again, let me know what you guys think about this topic here. Should Daboll take over the play calling duties or not? Any other Giant opinions that you may have, leave them in the comments. But yeah, that is pretty much it for me for today. Very excited because it's opening day for baseball. The Yankees will be playing against their arch rivals, even though I've been told before what rivalry. The Houston Astros, a team that has tormented me for years. I'm really excited about it. Baseball season is back, so make sure to tune in to the GSMC Baseball Podcast later. Get Sam's opinion on things. Also, check out the other shows as well. But yeah, I am really excited for baseball, even though, the Yankees are dealing with some injuries. But I'm not going to let that ruin the season for me. I'm going to go out there and enjoy it. So I'm excited about that. Also, the Sweet 16 for March Madness. That starts tonight. The tournament already started, but I just mean like the Sweet 16, starts tonight. A lot of good games. And this is where everybody's brackets really start to, either fall apart or end up winning your um, bracket group that you do on ESPN. At least that's what what I'm doing at least. Many others as well. But yeah, it's again exciting time to be a sports fan. Really is. But yeah, again, that is pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Thanks for tuning in. Again, we'll be back again tomorrow. Full show once again. Yeah, make sure to tune in 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And until then, I am your host, Kenneth Grunfelder, signing off from the GSMC Football Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Have a good day, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Take care.